Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P and I am here to do our monthly budget for March. It is very hard for me to fathom that we are already like at the end of February and going into March, but here we are. So I know this week is going to be busy for us, so I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way. I've kind of been working with the numbers this weekend. It's Saturday afternoon, just in case you're wondering, and I think that I've got it worked out. March is a little bit more spendy. We are in soccer season and birthdays, things like that. My son is coming in from Washington State to visit, and we've got some things planned to do with him. So with that said, we are paying all of our bills, and we're still trying to put some extra toward debt, but it might not be as much as what we would like. But then again, you know, we sometimes get surprised with income and other things coming in, so we don't know for sure. But the plan right now doesn't give us quite as much, but you'll see when you see the numbers. All right, so the first thing I need to do is set up my monthly overview in the calendar section, and this is where I just put all of my expenses and bills so that I can just glance at this and know, you know, what each paycheck is responsible for paying. We do get paid. I get paid once a month. My husband gets paid once a week, and because of the way our bills run, we are not quite able to just pay everything and go for a zero-based paycheck budget, I guess, if for lack of better words. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I get paid and my husband gets paid on the 29th, and our pay cycles and our bills we usually do from the Thursday to the Wednesday anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I use the highlighter method that I learned from the Budget Mom. And because I don't have a lot of space, well, actually I can use this box and this box because some bills technically don't come out until the 1st, but I'm going to use all of the things that come out on the 1st. I'm going to use these two boxes to cover those because we have quite a bit. All right, so I'm going to put 4 boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then we also have a bill that comes out on the 4th. Do I need to zoom? Yeah, I need to zoom you guys in. I'm sorry. Okay, let me adjust. Is that enough? Okay, and then the 4th we have one. The 5th we have one. I'm looking at my cheat sheet, by the way. And the 6th. Maybe one day we won't have so many bills and I can do this from memory. All right, so we have Xbox, mortgage, the truck payment, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Progressive, the orthodontist, Microsoft, and Assurant. They all come out within the first day or so of the month. My car payment is also due on the first day of the month, or actually it's due the day I get paid. It just automatically comes out of the bank account or out of my check. I never even see that money. All right, so then on the 4th, and I apologize for the shadows, the evening sun is coming in. All right, we've got Apple storage. No, I need to move that. I've learned that, I don't know if Apple changes sometimes their due dates, but I always had it here, but it technically doesn't get paid until the end of the month. So I need to move that. So that's no longer going to be there. All right, so car wash is here. And hopefully I won't forget to put it down here. Car wash, then we have Live 360. Okay, and that is all that comes out of that week. All right, then starting on the 7th, I'm going to use use purple. And actually, my student loan is going to change. It's not coming on the 8th anymore. You know what? I need to make myself a note. Ooh, let me put this over here. I'm going to get my cheat sheet. Well, maybe if I can get a hold of it. I'm going to get my cheat sheet and go ahead, and I know that student loan is now here, and the Apple storage. You know what? I think the Apple storage is here as well. Okay, that way I won't forget. All right. All right, to be continued. Okay, all right. All right, so on the 9th, I've got one. The 11th, I've got one. And the 12th. So this will not be too busy of a week. So Mr. P Hobby is here. The 11th is iRobot. And the 12th is Barclay. Okay. All right, so then that is all for that week. Next is this week. The 15th is Credit Union. The 18th, I've got one. And Netflix. Okay, that's all for that week. So this is Credit Union. The 18th is Geico. Apple Music. My husband is taking a nap, and I can hear him snoring all the way out here. Okay, that is all for that week. Now I've got this week. I'm going to do it in blue. All right, so on the 21st, I have one. Then I have four. 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. 2 here. 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Actually 4, 5 because I just moved some. All right. So on the 21st, I have Uplift. The 22nd, I have Max, Power and Internet, Spotify, and Hulu. And here I have Peacock and Verizon. This is a busy week. This is the week we have to save up for. Here we have Google storage. Oh, I can take one off because I did have Prime here. But on this day, on the 25th, let me go ahead and mark that. Let's see here. I'm going to do it with, actually I'm going to do it with the red. All right, so you know what, I'm going to do it here because I'm afraid that I'll forget if I wait until the 25th or something will happen. I need to renew my Sam's membership, but I'm also going to purchase Amazon Prime. And that's going to be the yearly subscription. So that means that the monthly bill is no longer something we'll have to worry about. We'll just save up in our sinking funds to pay that yearly. And that way I can do it on on the same day or on this, you know, it's nice when your subscriptions all come out at the same time, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so then John Deere, student loan, and Apple storage. And then the very last bill we have is Mr. P's last hobby. Mr. P Hobby. And that is all of our bills for the month of March. And when I get to doing my breakdown for our expenses, I will tell you what has changed about my student loan, okay? All right, so I've already worked out my sinking funds, and I'm doing it a little bit different. If you notice, oh, that needs to be, coming a lot. Okay, that was a very quick zoom in. Okay, so I've got all of the same categories except for gas, okay? And I did go down on our blow money because March is just very spendy. But I did start putting in gas as a cash expense. Now, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to pay with cash. I might. But I'm doing that so that I can roll the money over each week. I'm going to go ahead and take it out and roll it over. And I'm doing that because there's a couple weeks where I'm going to need a lot more gas, and then there's some weeks where I'll need less gas. So that's what my plan is. Somebody did mention that I can save quite a bit by using using cash for gas. But I have the Walmart Plus membership. I purchased that. It was like some kind of really crazy cheap deal last year in the summertime. I may not get it again if they don't offer that same deal. I think I got it for like $50, and it included Paramount Plus, Paramount Plus, and then I get 10-cent discount on gas. So I don't know if paying with cash would save me any more. I'm not sure. But I also have worked in these savings challenges, and that's just, I took out money that I would have put towards certain categories. For example, Sam's, gifts, clothing, let's see here, and holidays. All these little holidays. And I'm just going to use the Monday Minis to fund those because that's fun for me. I know that it doesn't change the fact that we're putting money where it needs to go. It just makes it a little bit more fun. So that's the plan for now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. This is my breakdown for my cash each week, how much I need to get out. But this is where I'll do my monthly overview for March. And I'm going to go ahead and get my cheat sheet over here so that I can follow along and not have to use the old calculator to, keep things straight. I've already got the numbers worked out and worked out all the kinks because there were. All right, so I'm going to start out by going ahead and putting, this is going to be for March 2024. And the first income will be Mr. P. And I am going to budget $4,000, which means $1,000 per week. Mrs. P, I'm going to budget $3,100. Somebody mentioned about the teacher pay, being so different across the country. Technically, I have, besides taxes and retirement, I also have about almost $660 taken out between my car payment, some supplemental insurance, health I pay because we have the option. Our state does pay for our health insurance, but we have the option to upgrade to a better policy. So I pay the difference for that because it does make a difference in, how much copays are and prescriptions and things like that. But we also have, some states don't have like income tax, and our state does, and they're pretty high. So I lose a lot of money. I think my actual, the gross amount is around $4,800 a month, and that's what I come home with. So it's a big difference. Okay, other is going to be around $450, leaving us with $7,550 as our income. Hopefully it'll be more than that, but that's what we expect. Okay, so then I'm going to go down and list all of our bills. These are our fixed expenses. They don't change. I do round up to the nearest dollar amount, and so it changes in that way, but just some cents. All right, so first we have mortgage. and that's 1,115. Progressive. Our car, the 6-month policy renews in March. Now this is our last payment, and then it renews. I don't know if it's gone up. I've heard a lot of people talk about car insurance going up, and I'm hoping it doesn't, because I feel like we already pay a lot for car insurance. My son is on our policy. He pays his portion, but we also have my father-in-law on our car insurance, and because the truck that we have, he drives, it's in our name, so we have to keep him on our insurance, and he doesn't pay for that. It didn't go up a whole lot adding him, so we just, you know, we just pay that for him. All right, so $15 for insurance. I have like a frog in my throat. Car wash is going to be $43. Live 360 is $9. I hope you guys can see this. Can you hear the pitter patter? It's about dinner time for the dogs, and so they're like pacing around me because they know that, you know, I'm gonna be feeding them soon, and they're letting me know that their bellies are ready. Geico 27. Apple Music is $12. Netflix is $17. Power and internet. Usually when I'm doing this monthly budget, I've kind of gotten an idea of what our power and internet bill will be for the next month, for March. I do not know. I did look at our usage, and it's significantly lower than it was last month. And our last month's bill was around $372. So I'm going to say $350 just to be on the safe side, but I'm hoping it's closer to $300. Spotify is going to be $12. Hulu is $5. The weather has been really like warm. It's still getting cool at night, which I'm okay with the house being cool at night because I'm in my 40s and I get so hot when I sleep. But we haven't been having to use the heat as much. Cell phones, 362. Google. We really need to figure out, I know that's just $3, but we also pay for Apple storage, which is what I'm getting ready to write. And we use the big plan with Apple storage, but we have a lot of stuff in the Google storage, so we need to get it switched over so that we don't have to pay for 2 different storage things. Mr. P hobbies is 110. All right, I'm gonna just glance and make sure. I feel like I might have been talking and forgot something, but it looks right. Okay, so this section adds up to be $2,396, which is a little bit less than last month because I got rid of the Amazon Prime. Okay, so the month ahead, sinking funds, and now I'm going to put in savings challenges, which would have been sinking funds. So it's just calling it something different. It's still, you know, going to the same thing. All right, so month ahead is going to get 600. Sinking funds. I did up some sinking funds and lower others. 835. And savings challenges, which will be $50 per week, and I'm going to put 200 for that. And so this section adds up to be $1,635. All right, now up to my variable expenses. All right, and this is what we get out in cash. And I used to say the only thing we didn't get out in cash was the gas, but I am going to get that out this time. All right, so we've got groceries, and that's going to be $600. Pets will be $80. Household, $80. Mr. P. I did go down. I did $5 less per week for all of us because it's a tight month. I want to try to put as much as we can toward our debt. Mrs. P, I've been using my blow money since I get so much more than him for some of the savings challenges. So it's my blow money's going into sinking funds, which, you know, I'm okay with that. All right, Miss P, I'm gonna give her 60. Sporting events, it's gonna be 80. Eating out. Now, I've kind of left this, I've put 80. We do have a birthday for my father-in-law in March. I don't know if he's going to want to go out to eat. I might try to talk him into letting me cook dinner. It'd be cheaper for everybody involved and just have all the family, him and then my parents and my siblings all come over for birthdays and things like that. Because my mother-in-law had passed away several years back, and so he's by himself, and so we include him in everything. All right, so then gas. What I was trying to say, and I got off on a tangent, was that we also, like when we have away ball games, the money that I have for sporting events is to get us into the games. That's not really going to feed us, and most likely when we go out and away for games, my daughter likes to ride the bus back with her team, and they usually stop and eat. So I'll give her, you know, maybe $15, $20-ish, you know, to eat wherever they're going. She probably doesn't need more than 10, so I'll probably give her 15 just to be sure that she has enough, and maybe if somebody else doesn't have enough, she can share. I'll do a fast food, but I'll use my blow money for that. So it should be enough. All right, gas, I'm gonna say $2.40, which works out to $60 a week. What I don't use, I'll roll over. All right, so I've got to put unbudgeted because that has kind of hit us several times in February. All right, so then this section adds up to be $14.50. All right, now for the not fun part. This is our debt. Okay, first we have ortho, which is $88. Wells Fargo, which is $70. I'm gonna put $70. I looked and my minimum payment has dropped down to $69. So $69 will probably come out. I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Just let it do what it's gotta do. Citibank, until it is our snowball card, I'm just paying the minimum. Xbox is $39. Barclay is $77. Credit Union, this is our snowball card. I'm going to pay the regular payment. It's actually less than $70, but I've just always paid $70. Then I've got Uplift, $157. That's our cruise. Truck, which we go on the cruise in April, and I could not be more excited. Truck is $470. John Deere is $404. And student loan. Okay. So if you watched, and I think I mentioned it in my very first video with my debt confession video, I said that I know payments restarted back in September, I think. Something happened with mine. Every time I would go on to check to see what I owed, it kept putting it into like some kind of administrative forbearance. And so all the way up until the end of December, I had not paid anything toward my student loan. And it said I didn't owe anything. But then when I looked at, there was something that I'd gotten, maybe it was through Student Gov, the website, I'm not sure, but I saw that like my student loans, you know, they were all in separate loans, and then I had 2 Parent Plus loans. And then those were also in separate loans. If I added all of them together, like what it said for every single loan, it was around $830, $40, something like that, which I can't afford. Absolutely, there's just no way. I mean, we would really have to cut almost everything extra out of our lives. And granted, I know I could do that if I had to, but I didn't want to, and we still have to live. So I reached out to Mohila, which is my loan servicer, and asked them, what my options were. So they told me to keep paying the $300 while they tried to consolidate some other loans together. Actually, maybe there were some that were already consolidated, and that was the $300. It might have been the Parent Plus loans that they were consolidated together. Anyway, so they were on another forbearance until March, okay? Or most of them except for the couple. And so I just got an email on Friday with the updated, I did get approved for the consolidated loan. So my new bill it was just under $500. So instead of $300, now I'm paying $500, which is, it's a lot, but it's still less than the $830 that it originally was going to be if I paid each loan separately. I have talked to both of my boys, and they're both willing to help out with this. We just haven't come to, some kind of agreement. But I'm thinking maybe asking them maybe for like $100 each month to help contribute to the student loans, because a lot of it was to help them. They have their own student loans. The parent loans were the extra, because my oldest son, he went to a private school, which student loans don't cover that expense. And my younger son, because the way COVID hit, like in the middle of his college experience, and he changed his path. He was in engineering, he switched to business, then he decided to get a double major. So all of that extended his time, and so he ran out of student loan money. So I had to help him also. So anyway, long story short, that's what I owe now for student loans. All right. And for those of you who know, I am a teacher, but I have not yet paid enough payments to qualify for the forgiveness. I do work at a low-income, low-performing school, so I would qualify for that, but I have to make enough payments for that. All right, so then we have the snowball. And I calculate the snowball after I figure out what's left. So I'm going to move you guys up so you can see. Let me go in a little bit. All right, so our total income is $7,550. Bill total, which is over here, is $2,396. Variable total is $1,450. Oh, out of frame. Let's see here. Savings challenge is $1,635. And if I add our debt section without a snowball, it adds up to be $1,895. If I calculate that, that leaves $174 left over, which is half of what it was last month. But here we are paying more on our student loan. I'm paying a little bit more in gas, just some other things, that's going on. So it's okay. I'm gonna hope that maybe we can come in higher than that. But regardless, with the $70 payment and the $174, that's still almost $250 going to that one debt in March. All right, so that section now is $2,069. And if I move that down here, $2,069, and I add up these four categories, it adds up to be $7,550, leaving us at zero at the end of the month, which is where we want to be. So we still have money, put aside for categories that we know we need to fund, things that we're gonna have to get tags for our cars. We're gonna have to, have birthdays. We're gonna have car expenses and all those things. So we're prepared for that. It also leaves me $600 putting in our savings account, the high yield savings account that I opened up last month. It's going to give us, $600 to put toward that. So it's still okay. Everything is still, we're not in the negative. We still have some, you know, leftover money. And as long as everything goes as planned, which you know how that goes, it's not always what you expect or want. But this is the plan, and this is what, you know, we're going to work with. So anyway, that is all for this video. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching. This, to me, is probably the boring type of video, but, you know, it has to be done. And if you do a monthly overview before the month starts, it kind of just sets everything in place so that you are ready to tackle your bills. And, you know, this is where mistakes can happen. So going ahead and sitting down and working out your monthly overview is just very important. So if you like this template that I use for my overview, I do have that as a freebie in my Google Drive, and I have that linked in my description. I have it linked in on my channel, but I'll also link it in my description box. That way you can have access to this if you like it. I don't charge for that because, you know, I like to be able to share things that help me so that maybe it can help somebody else. So with that said, this video is long enough. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, but stay tuned. I've got more videos coming out this week. We've got check-ins, and we have to find out how much I was able to pay in February toward our debt, toward our credit union card, which is the snowball card. All right, I'm going to leave you now. Bye.